Ever wondered how companies make sense of millions of logs, metrics, and searches in real time? That's where the Elastic Stack comes in. Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, and Beats, they are part of it. In this video, I will show you how these tools work together, how you can ship and visualize your data instantly, and why Elasticsearch is one of the most powerful engines for search and monitoring. Stick around, I will even spin up a live demo so you can see dashboards and insights come to life in just a few clicks. Let's dive in.
Elasticsearch, we have three main products or components, which is Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. And then you have multiple different data shipping tools, which is Beats, Filebeats, Metricbeat, Windows. So all of these small agents you can install on your machine, which you want to monitor. Metricbeat is going to send the CPU and the data for the stats for the operating system level. I think it can also attach to the application, but the more specifically designed solution is the Elasticsearch APM. Filebeat is to send all the files, which is if you have several log files on your machine, you can send the data as it comes, meaning live running the test. At the same time, Filebeat is going to read the file and ship the data either to Elasticsearch or to Logstash based upon how you configure it. If you need to parse and transform the data, then you need to send it to Logstash. If your data you think is already uh, ready and it doesn't need any parsing, transformations, breaking down, or any cleanup, then you can directly send it to Elasticsearch. But usually people have to use Logstash because there is always some kind of filtering, parsing needed. Um, and then finally, Kibana runs as a UI tool which connects to Elasticsearch, and it visualizes all of the data for you. So you will, when you will read about it, you will see some more stuff like it has three main use cases in the industry. The first one is search. So it's Elasticsearch is a search engine in itself. You can build like really powerful searches because it can ingest data at scale. It can ingest tons and tons of data. It has a scalable architecture with multiple and as many nodes as you need probably, and the engine works on really good log. It has a really good algorithm for providing you search results, so you can ingest your data, build searches on top of it. So, for example, if you have an e-commerce website, you can go ahead and build the whole search engine just from Elasticsearch. You don't need anything else. Um, what else it has? Excellent scaling and availability, customizable graphs. So each of the graph that you can build, you can customize later, which we did in our project. Excellent support and community because it's so popular. You'll always find answers to your problems online. You can also request like really enterprise support, I believe, because there is an active company that runs it. Um, and it's yeah, they decided, like the Elastic company, they decided to make it, the license so far was open source, which means you can do whatever you like with this. Now they have changed it to um, for the latest releases, it will not be open source anymore. It will be um, proprietary, which is like their private license. But there is some communities like AWS itself started a fork of this of Elasticsearch, which is going to remain open source, which is called OpenSearch. And I'm sure there will be more companies or more initiatives that are going to try to keep it open source. But open source or not, you can always use it, depending upon if you can spend a few dollars, the company can afford it, then it's a good tool. If you still want to go for open source, it's there, but I'm sure you can use it one way or another. I will show you a little bit Elasticsearch, just to give you a feel of how it works and what kind of monitorings you can build. So just a second. On my machine, I have it installed. Yeah, I have like this Elasticsearch folder here, and I think if I remember correctly, all you need to do is download different components and unzip them, and that's it. So I downloaded Elasticsearch, which is like the engine that saves that has all the data saved, and it serves all the queries. Then I have Filebeat, which I use to send some logs manually from my machine to Elasticsearch, but we won't need it today. I have Kibana, which is another zip file, and you can just download and unzip it. I have Logstash. I don't need lots of Logstash today, but this is how you can simply download and unzip on your machine. All you need to do to start the process is to go to the bin directory and do that. It's gonna start Elasticsearch. Then what you need to do is to go to Kibana, which is the UI, and do the same for Kibana. Kibana.bat. It's gonna start the two main components that I need for the demo today, and they can talk to each other because they are on the local host and they are pre-configured to connect to running instances on localhost. So Kibana can detect your localhost Elasticsearch and it can connect to it. It will take a couple of minutes, so I will just leave it like that. So the last line says the cluster status has changed from red to yellow. That means yellow is pretty much fine right now because I have only one instance of Elasticsearch running on my local machine. It will only get green when it has more than one instance running. So you can pretty much have a redundancy. Like if my machine fails right now, it's not gonna, all of the data will die, or at least the cluster will die. The data will be on my machine. So that's why it's yellow. To be green, I need at least 2 or 3 nodes, which means I need to run it on another machine and connect those two machines together. Um, yeah, Kibana takes a little longer, but it will be there soon. Um, there are some pre-configured data sets with these tools that you can use to learn and to explore how it works. And now it's running. So let me go ahead and access it. All right, so this is how the Kibana UI looks like. And as you can see, lots of stuff here. The first thing you can always do here is to add a sample data, load a data set in the Kibana dashboard. So if I click on it, because you need some data to start building the graphs, right? But when we begin, most of the time we don't have data when we start to learn. So what they do is provide you some sample data and some sample graphs that you can use to understand how the whole thing is working. So here we have some sample web logs. This is sample flight data. If I want to import this as an example, um, I can let's import this one as well. I've already imported sample web logs, but if I click on this one, sample flight data, it's as simple as that. Gonna import these graphs and this data. So now if I go to the what is visualize and what is dashboard? So in this big dashboard, like this big page, you see many graphs. Each of the graph is under visualize. You can create one new graph by going to visualize, and you can create many small graphs, individual graphs, not small probably. And what is dashboard is when you have to put several graphs in one page, you can connect multiple visualized graphs and put them into one page, and that's how you will get the whole dashboard page. So what I'm gonna show you right now is a dashboard. I search for flight. So this is a global flight dashboard. And the interesting thing is that they have also put the data in such a way that it always shows up some results in the last 24 hours, because usually whenever you want to see some results, you have to select the date and time. And here we are gonna select last 20. It's already selected last 24 hours, but you still see some results. This means somehow, I don't know how exactly, but they have put in graphs and data that you can see in the last 24 hours. So here are some interesting graphs. I like this one very much. The wagon wheel, I think it's called. It shows a breakdown, so it could be used in cases, for example, when you have 5 different requests coming to the server and you want to monitor them, and how many of which requests are there, you can build this graph. If I show you how it works just quickly, so if I go to edit this visualization, it will be splitting based on a field, this number, and it will be counting and showing as a percentage. So that let's see which field it is. I think it is career. So based on career, it is splitting this graph. So here, yeah, it splits slices based on career in a descending manner. So um, you can pretty much split this data. So I have time series data from last last 15 minutes. Let me select a bigger interval, maybe last 24 hours. And these are the airlines that have flown. And this is so the aggregation that I'm using is based on terms and career, and it's descending with size 5. You can change it to different stuff. Let's see if there is more. Maybe destination, city name. Let's see. Okay, so most of the flights in the last 24 hours, like 26% of them are going to Zurich. They are going to Warsaw, Shanghai, Vienna. Similarly, that there was just an example. Similarly, if you want to change it to um, if you want to change it to if you have a field in your data which is let's say the type of request, you can simply go and pull in the type of request, and let's say you click on it and you just simply play, and it will display the data. Now what you are seeing is origin region, so it was from Great Britain, England, Italy, probably Canada, I don't know, some kind of stuff, and you can customize it quite a lot. You can put it in descending, ascending. Here you are seeing the aggregation by count. You can also sum it up if, for example, sorry. So the main idea was to show you how customizable each of these graph is, and get some ideas about which graphs you can build for your monitoring. Some of them can be really custom and useful because all the applications are custom built, so you will need some custom graphs at some point. And that's how you can build stuff. We have a full-fledged dashboard which I cannot show you, unfortunately, probably because it's like a live project, and I don't think it will be a good practice to show private data from a client, but we can try to capture something anonymously, and I will show you later anonymously some of the data in some of the lectures. But right, so you see this. There is another dashboard which looks more like uh, an application monitoring data, which is our case sometimes, or most of the time. So I have a dashboard for sample logs. So you see just from the logs of the application, we can derive that how many visitors by different operating system types were there. This is another really useful graph which shows response codes over time. Um, Blue is the 200 response code. This one is 404. This is 503. And these stars are also something which is I can't. Yeah, yeah. These are the errors, I believe. So every time you see an error, this kind of a marking is done. It's a bit difficult to build this one, but if you can, it looks, I mean, it can give you like really good useful information. You can see from a distance that um, when suddenly any special response time response code starts increasing, which means application is failing, you can see, okay, at this point there was spike of failed response times. Heat map is another useful thing. You can use it just like a view of your all of your tests. So you have 10 tests on the left, and you can see that, okay, so this test failed in the history, and when it failed, then it's red. And if you see that there is a pattern of failing, that means there is a problem or things like that. But this one I have never managed to use. It looks interesting, but anyways, uh, this one as well I have not used. I have used this. I have used this more or less. This one is also useful, unique visitors. So, and just to give you another look at the data, so all of the data comes in Elasticsearch in these indices, and they are organized by index patterns. So, maybe this one. This is the sample flights data. So the data is comes out really simply. I mean, it's not so complicated, to be honest. Each new data record comes as a, yeah, comes as a, you can say, JSON, or I don't know how exactly it comes. I need to search it out. But each record contains information for different fields. So the first record is average ticket price. So this is like just one record that entered the database at very recently. So um, there will be a timestamp as well. There is flight time minimum. So what was flight time? What was the origin airport and origin city name, origin country? This is the origin location in latitude and longitude. It supports such kind of data natively, where you have the geolocations. You can use this to build the graphs that you just saw, which is like a graph on a map, on an actual map of a country or a city or a whole globe. This was the timestamp when this data arrived. It was April 15, and yeah, it comes in as a JSON probably, and that's the data. And each record comes in and blends in and forms this whole series of data. And this series is what you just saw in the graphs, is what you were trying to extrapolate and analyze in the graphs. And this is the historical overview of how many records came at different points. So you see we have several records coming every 3 hours. That's it. I think I can actually, yeah, it could be a training in itself to go through the Elasticsearch, what are indices, what are shards, what are nodes. But that's not the point. What I wanted to show you, this thing exists and this is how it is useful. And then you can go ahead and catch a tutorial for Elasticsearch, and later on you will have enough knowledge. Once you start catching a tutorial, reading about it, you will know. But yeah, that's I wanted to show you. There's lots of interesting concepts in Elasticsearch. As I said, it's really well designed and really scalable, really quick. So you see this tons of data, but you see it without a lag because it's so well designed. And if you properly use it, you can extrapolate tons of data, millions of data, and in a very customizable fashion, in a very easy to use way. What you can build is like a dashboard, or yeah, definitely a dashboard with application level, system level, component level, everything in one page. You can even navigate from one page to another. Like if I click docs, you can put links here to different pages, so the user can just come here, and it's not like you have to write HTML code for this graph or the CSS code. You just have to define what data you want, and it will be visible. And in the past, we have actually done this. We have written HTML code and the CSS, and pretty much built a website for results, but that's no more necessary because of such tools. You can just feed all your data in here and you can utilize the pre-built graphs. That's about Elasticsearch. Have a lovely rest of the day and thank you so much for joining.